Welcome to Financial Issues, where we help you steward faithfully by honoring God with your investments. Now listen in as we give you the practical tools and advice you need to become a biblically responsible investor.
This is Financial Issues, where we help you defund darkness and fund the light by investing with biblical integrity. Wonderful to have you all this Friday, November the 14th, folks. Seth Udinski, Samuel Case, and your host, Mark Minnella. Mark, good morning to you, brother. I'm excited for another show. Let's get to it.
Good morning. So am I. Today is Sam Day, November 14th, 2025.
It is Sam Day. Folks, listen, happy birthday to one of the best brothers that I've ever known in my life, Samuel Case. It is Sam's birthday today. Happy birthday, Sam.
What can I say, guys? I'm a survivor. Made it 31 years, you know? No need to thank me.
That's awesome.
It is kind of bizarre. You're making me come into work on my birthday. What's up with that?
It's shameful.
And we're going to do overtime, by the way.
Yeah.
We are known to be hard taskmasters here at Financial Issues.
That's true. But I do want to take a second to say something. Coming into Financial Issues, it's 3 months now almost that I've been associated here. It was a slow transition in, which was good. I think Michael did a good job on making that happen. But I want to share something. I've been on other networks. You know, I've had my own radio shows. I've been on radio shows with other people and been on interviews and stuff. And there's oftentimes it's good, but sometimes people are really mean. I don't know how best to say it, but they try and get you to slip up or try and get you to not be your best. Ever since I've been here, Sam and Seth, and actually the whole crew, but Sam and Seth have done everything they possibly could to make it easy for me to be here. They've encouraged me. They've helped me. They've done everything possible. And I just feel so blessed that, Sam, I get to celebrate your birthday with you via video link, but still I get to celebrate it with you. And I praise God for the opportunity for our paths to come together and for us to walk together in this great work. So
awesome.
Happy birthday, Sam.
Hey,
thank you so much. I'm seeing all kinds of birthday wishes in the chat, too. So that's just awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
So you all know. And folks, by the way, our phone lines are open. If you want to call and wish Sam a happy birthday, that's one thing you can do today. Call in 610-363-1110, as well as your questions. You all know I love to speak in Lord of the Rings language. And one of my favorite quotes from Lord of the Rings is when Sam and Frodo are walking through the wilderness and they're talking about if they'll ever be put into songs or tales someday. And Frodo's talking about, Samwise the Brave and how, Frodo says these exact words. Frodo would not have gotten far without Sam, and neither would FISM. We love Sam.
I agree. I agree.
Pretty awesome. Happy birthday, brother. Cool stuff.
Many more.
Absolutely. 610-363-1110. Hey, folks, call into the live show. We'd love to talk with you. 610-363-1110. Mark and Sam, let's get to this here. So yesterday, it looks like the IRS has announced some new 401k and IRA contribution limits. This isn't like a jaw-dropping breaking news story, but I think it's good for our audience to know this. Sam, would you give us the details here, Mr. Birthday Boy?
It's more of a PSA, right? Public service announcement.
Exactly.
So just so you know, starting in 2026, you can now defer $24,500 into your 401k. That's up from $23,500 last year. So an increase of $1,000. Likewise, Roth IRA contributions can now increase by an additional $500 to $7,500. And catch-up contributions for those 50 and older also increased by $100 up to $1,100 from last year.
Yeah, it's good. Wow. So, Mark, anything we need to be aware of with that, or is it just kind of business as usual? You can put a little more money into your IRA.
No, it's really good. But I can tell you from the history, 30 years being a financial advisor, and most people don't even see these numbers come up. So that when it comes time to start feeding their 401k or their IRAs, they usually are saying, let's see, I wrote my check out and got it in for this, but it's like, okay, but this year the maximum is this. Oh, okay, I'll send another check in, So anyway, it's good that we do this. It's good that people are aware of it. Feed that Roth.
Yep. You know, we get a lot of questions about Roth IRAs, regular IRAs, 401ks. You might be one of those people. Call in, ask us. We'd love to be able to help you. 610-363-1110. Elsewhere, guys, interesting stuff I'm seeing. It looks like Americans are still spending while claiming that the economy is bad. Kind of makes sense. I mean, listen, money makes the world go round. We have to spend. But Sam, give us the details here. What's exactly going on?
Right. So this is based on a recent survey from Scott Rasmussen, a rather conservative fellow. So it's not like he's exactly trying to dunk on Donald Trump. But his specific question was, how do you rate the U.S. economy these days? Finding out that only 30% of Americans right now say the economy overall, so not just considering their personal finances, but how they feel about economic conditions, is doing well. So about 1 in 3 say the economy is pretty good. But on the other side, nearly 40% say the economy is poor. So not just okay, they say it's actually pretty bad right now. So that's not too. You look at this other data here showing really their actions are not exactly lining up with their words. Retail spending, for example, increased 0.6% in October. That followed a slight spending dip in September. But here's the really interesting thing. In earning calls last week, both Visa and Mastercard told their investors they saw absolutely no sign of consumer pullback. So people are still spending, with Visa saying that it's both discretionary and non-discretionary spending that are both up from the previous quarter. So it's not like people are just buying things they absolutely need. They're also buying the things they want and kind of enjoy as well. So what do you make of that, guys?
Well, you know, Sam, I really appreciate those numbers, and they are conflicting. Doesn't it seem like we find conflicting numbers in almost every report we have on the economy? I think that the issue is if Americans felt like, I don't know, like they're tapped out, let's say, they wouldn't be spending like they are. That's the bottom line. So I'm questioning the polls. I'm questioning the way the polls were worded. Even though the report says the economy, I think people may have been speaking about maybe personal finance or how their emotions. So maybe their emotions are saying, I don't trust the government and the economy as much as I used to, but I'm feeling okay enough to continue spending. And by the way, I just saw something this morning, a news report that said this Christmas is supposed to be the biggest Christmas ever in spending. That was a projection. So it was a projection just like the one we touted earlier in the week that said it's going to be down 4% from last year, but bigger than all the rest. So we have all the predictions coming on and none of the facts. And then we have polls that are wording things in a way that say one thing, but then they're being reported as another. So all the confusion really comes down to just the drama for news to be able to get your attention. And I guess it would be called clickbait, so that you go into the news and then they can show you an ad and make a little money on it. That's my thought anyway, because I think the numbers don't lie. When people are spending, when they're comfortable spending, both discretionary as well as the needs, it tells me that their psyche is saying, I'm okay.
Folks, we want to hear how comfortable are you with partaking in that potentially record number of Christmas spending this year? We want to hear from you, 610-363-1110. Mark, I do find that really fascinating, that we're potentially going to see that. I suppose we'll have to wait until the actual numbers come out for sure, but I assume that's just based on projections and economic experts saying, well, we think this is going to be the biggest Christmas that we've ever seen. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I don't remember who was polled or what the source was from, but I think it was from the White House, actually. It's the biggest ever.
There you go. It's going to be the biggest.
At least in the previous ones I've seen, the one that said we were going to have a dip of some sort, it was based on polls of what are you planning to spend, and then they kind of just averaged that out. But if you ask me what I'm planning to spend for Christmas right now, I don't think I really know.
Right.
Exactly. Well, or I would say, well, I'm planning to spend this amount, but I always end up spending this amount, because you get to the store and you find, Carter would really like this. Oh, Violet would really like this. That's what happens. And so we always spend a little bit more than we're expecting. But I think it's good. I think it's good that we have the conflicting. But what's really coming down, what I have noticed, and I mentioned earlier this week, is that when the Trump shut down the government kind of thing didn't work, when they couldn't blame government shutdown on Trump, it wouldn't stick, they switched to affordability. And I've seen that running through all the news. People can't afford Christmas. People can't afford a new car. People can't, the new cars are way overpriced. The new toys are way overpriced. Bananas are too much. It just goes on. And they say, and it's all Trump's fault. So I think that the media, as Trump would say, the fake media has pushed that out there so much.
That was his whole thing. Was affordability.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. They saw, or they think it worked in New York, so they're trying to push it everywhere. And then independent writers start doing that kind of thing.
Interesting stuff, guys. Hey, 610-363-1110. Folks, we want to dedicate this show to answering your questions. So call in. We'd love to hear from you. There's a line or two open right now at 610-363-1110. We'll be right back after this break.
There are moments in life that define us. Choices determine the courses we take. Choices that create life, or those that save a life. And some make life worthwhile. There are decisions to stay or to go, to remain the same or to grow. For investing.
I started investing close to 30 years ago now. All that time, I had never heard anyone talk about setting up your portfolio in a way that glorifies God. When I first heard about it, I was listening to the radio, a show called Financial Issues. They were teaching people how to honor God with their money. I became a partner with Financial Issues, and it's been one of the best decisions I've made. Invest your money in a God-honoring way. Go to financialissues.org.
My baby was like this big, and I saw his heart beating on the screen. I went from, I don't want this baby, to talking to my child on the screen. That sonogram changed my life. I went from just Candace to Mom.
To find out how you can support the life-saving mission of Preborn, go to preborn.com/FISM.
Cue your call up now, folks. 610-363-1110. Call in. We'd love to talk with you. 610-363-1110. The major indices, guys, interesting. They got clobbered yesterday in what would be their worst day in over a month, actually. Part of this, Mark, was due to some big-time sell-offs, tends to happen, and then some renewed pessimism also in the possibility of an interest rate cut in December. The numbers I saw before yesterday, and Sam, you can correct me if you saw something different, but it was around the experts were pricing in around a 60-something% chance that interest rates would be cut one more time. That turned to about a 49% chance yesterday, and some people are wondering if that had something to do with how bad the markets were. But at any rate, the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 both finished down 1.6 percentage points, and the NASDAQ was down well over 2 percentage points. Mark,
Seth,
what do you make of that?
As of this morning, the prediction that there is going to be a rate cut is about 53%.
Okay, so it's up slightly.
I don't know what they're basing that on, but that's the vibes they're feeling right now.
I think they went and knocked on every door in America and figured it out. I don't know. I just can't understand those either. But, those are predictions. They're not facts, and we're not going to worry about it. Remember, our peace comes from Christ, not from the government or anybody else who are making up. Compiling numbers. So
wait, what did you say that? That's good. Yeah. Folks, 610-363-1110. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Mark, we got a caller in the queue now. We've got Ken is calling from, I think that's Arkansas, Ken.
Well, hello, Ken. Welcome from Arkansas, and welcome to Financial Issues. What's on your mind?
And yes, that is Arkansas. That's not Alaska.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Those Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona ones always confuse me, but we're glad to have you, brother.
So what's on your mind this morning, Ken?
I've got a question. You have issued a sell alert for E31, and that's put me in a bit of a quandary. Back in the days of Dan, he issued a sell alert for something, OXY, and it was so low, but by the time I realized I had missed the sell alert, I said, well, I'm just going to leave it because it wasn't for BRI reasons. It was financial. And it's done pretty well. And I'm wondering whether y'all have looked at or would consider putting it back on, because since that guy from Oklahoma got involved in the mess, it's done pretty well.
Yeah, you're saying this was a long time ago, a sell alert? Like 10 years ago or what?
Probably 6 years ago.
Okay. In that 6 years, my thoughts on OXY is it did continue to climb for a while, but I think it's been since somewhere in 2022, it has been on a downtrend ever since. So it's pulled back way back, which maybe, Ken, what you're seeing is a good entry point for it, but I'd have to really take the stock apart to see what it has done with its earnings and its potential, as well as its debt.
Right.
I know that it has an unstable dividend record where it's been going up and down over the years. But outside of that, I'm not sure. One of the reasons it's not on there is it would be on our buy list if we really believed it had long-term great potential and that it was made of steel. Oftentimes with things like oil companies and whatnot, their debt gets ran through the ceiling. And at this point, I don't know where it is. In fact, I'm not even sure that it would make our buy list. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I will take it apart this week. I will dissect it and take a look at it. And if it's good, what we'll do is we'll put it back on the list. But it's not on the list, so I'm thinking during our reviews, once something's been on our list, we do review it often to see if it could come back on, and it hasn't yet. So I don't remember my last review of it, so I'm gonna have to dig into it. Bottom line, I guess.
All right,
I know their past isn't that good for the last 4 years, 3 or 4 years. So, and that's all I remember.
All right. So that brings me to the second part of my question. E31 was a substantial, just under 3% of my portfolio. I've held it for a long, long time. So, and we
E31
before, and you thought I might have, yes. And
Ken, since we sold it, you can go ahead and say it, Mark. This is ConocoPhillips.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right. So now we spoke before, and you thought perhaps I was over diversified, and so I'm looking for where am I going to put this not chump change money back into the market, or do I just kind of dribble it into something I already hold?
You know what I like about overvalued markets? There's no rush to get back in. Take your time, sort through. It sounds like you're somebody who does a little bit of research. So take your time, sort back through the buy list, find some that you like, move in a little at a time. If we ever reach a point where I believe the markets have given a strong, clear direction, like it's time to get back in, I'll come on the air and I'll say, hey guys, and we'll send out alert, it's time, or it'll be in the weekly commentary to our partners. I'll say, hey, it's time to stop dribbling in, it's time to shoot. Let's get in there. So right now you have the peace and the comfort of taking your time and getting in one step at a time, finding one thing, moving into it. I know where I have a list of about 12 different stocks I'm looking at that I don't believe have ever been on the buy list that may be slowly put on the buy list coming up here. I'm taking those apart and we're looking at those. So there might be some to replace that over the next month or so as we drop those into the buy list. So take your time, Ken. Don't rush into it right now. You've probably had a great year. I'm hoping you did. And you've realized some great returns this year. So take your time and let's build that portfolio out again in that strong steel way with high potential stocks that have long-term potential and not short-term. And be at peace.
My cash is looking towards 30%, which is a bunch.
Yeah. And, 30% cash would be a bunch under normal circumstances. The markets have pulled back a bit, so I don't think we need to be keeping that much dry powder. So like I said, take your time, be at peace, enjoy the journey of finding those stocks in the buy list that you like and start moving back in at whatever pace works for you, as long as they're biblically responsible.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
Appreciate you. God bless you for what you all do.
All right. God bless.
Ken. God bless you. 610-363-1110, folks. We've got a line open. You can get in there right now. 610-363-1110. Mark, let's go out to the West Coast and talk to Anna. Anna's calling from California.
Hello, Anna. Good morning. Good early morning to you. And what's on your mind?
Oh, good morning. I am trying to do a strategy. I also have a lot of cash in my 401A funds, and I am trying to move some of that to Roth. I'm age 69, and I'm trying to look at the forward at what my future, my inheritors are going to get, and I want to make sure that I have it in the Roth, which will make it easier for them once they get access to it. So I'm trying to get a strategy to put these funds into the Roth and not get a large tax incursion. So could you help me with that?
Oh, sure. It's coming out of your 401k?
Yeah.
So you're at a good time. One of the best strategies is to do it so much every year. Obviously, there's a good chance you're on Medicare. You're 69, so you're on Medicare. You want to be careful that I don't know the amount, and you don't need to tell me, but you could spread right now. One of the good strategies, at the very least, you could spread it out over multiple years. If you think it won't impact your Medicare and your Social Security by bringing it all in over a 2-year period, you could do half now and half in a couple of months because we're at the end of the year. So that would spread out the conversions over 2 years. If that's still too much, do it over 3 years. Just take your time doing it. And if you don't want to leave it in the 401k because you don't have enough control and you can't possibly invest with biblical integrity there, you could roll it over to a traditional IRA rollover account and then make the transition, the conversions from there each year or all at once if you think you could get it out all at once and not be too overly taxed. But those are the two things I would think about. The 401k, oftentimes 401ks do not give you the diversity to invest with biblical integrity. So getting into an IRA by doing a rollover, meaning trustee to trustee transfer to a rollover IRA where there would be no tax implications there, would be the first step. The second step would be to determine how much of that you could convert this year without a major tax impact and convert that amount, and then next year do the same thing right after the beginning of the year so that you have as much as possible in the Roth. And then third, remember to check your beneficiaries. Make sure they're set up exactly like you like, and do that every year because things change. Sometimes our beneficiaries pass before we do, and things like that. So you want to make sure you keep your beneficiaries up to date on all your IRAs and your 401k, and be at peace, one step at a time. One step at a time. And just remember, if you have to pay tax on it, that's kind of good. It says that you made money, right? Bottom line. So, but I understand not wanting to impact everything else in your life. I hope that helps, Anna.
Thank you so much. Yes, it does. And I want to thank you and happy birthday, Sam.
And
thank you so much. That's awesome.
It is
birthday
awesome.
boy.
Thanks for your call. God bless you. And God bless you for wanting to honor God with all you do, including your investments.
Yeah, it's great. And if we can be of any more help to you, please do call back as well. Folks, lines are open, 610-363-1110. Mark, we're coming to the end of this segment here, but I didn't want to let this slip by without the opportunity to tell our listeners about the great work that Preborn is doing. I'm just so thankful for being able to partner alongside Preborn. They have hung with us and stuck with us, and it's so cool. Sam and I have talked about this, Mark, seeing Preborn on all these big networks. That's like, those are our friends. And Tucker Carlson's promoting them, and Daily Wire's promoting them, and it's Blaze TV. It's really, really cool.
I've always said I feel a sense of pride knowing that we were early adopters of Preborn.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So just love the work that they do, saving babies and bringing the gospel to mothers and fathers in the name of Jesus Christ. Check them out, folks, at preborn.com. That's preborn.com. Phone lines are open, folks. 610-363-1110. It's a great day to call in. Don't wait till Monday. Call in right now. 610-363-1110. We'll get to your calls and questions on the other side of this break. More financial issues to come after this.
Where's Mima? We found out Shepard's diagnosis when I was about 17 weeks pregnant. We learned that he was going to need a series of surgeries after he was born in order to give him what they considered a normal life. And we weren't sure how this worked.
Yeah, very emotional, very, very broken. And as my wife just said, not sure how this worked. And called Samaritan, and they said, you just go have that baby. You leave the rest to us.
And just to hear the confidence on the other end of the phone of, this is not something that you need to be concerned about at all. You focus on the health of your family, the health of your baby, and we will walk with you every step of the way.
I started investing close to 30 years ago now. All that time, I had never heard anyone talk about setting up your portfolio in a way that glorifies God. When I first heard about it, I was listening to the radio, a show called Financial Issues. They were teaching people how to honor God with their money. That made a lot of sense to me. I guard my heart, my mind. I watch my mouth, hoping to bring glory to God in everything I do and say. Well, why wouldn't I want to do the same with my money? I decided I wanted my portfolio to glorify God. I became a partner with Financial Issues, and it's been one of the best decisions I've made. I want to leave a legacy of godliness for those who are following in my footsteps. Invest your money in a God-honoring way. Go to financialissues.org.
I found out I was pregnant when I was 21 years old. For me, I was scared, I was shaking. I Googled places to abort. We drive there, and as soon as we get there, I open the door, and the first thing that I see is a bunch of Bible verses in the walls. They gave me a little counseling session, they gave me the pregnancy test again, and they do an ultrasound. And that's when everything changed. When I saw my baby, and when I heard her heart beat, We decided with my boyfriend at the time, which is now my husband, to continue the pregnancy together. We started coming to the classes, doing our homework, getting counseling together. We've seen the hand of God ever since we stepped into the pregnancy center.
To find out how you can support the life-saving mission of Preborn, go to preborn.com/FISM.
(610-363-1110). Appreciate all of you joining us. I know we got some callers in the queue, and the chat audience is lively. Chat family, we love you all and grateful for each of you. I think they're talking about fruitcake in the chat.
Absolutely.
As well as
I'm so glad they are. A fruitcake. You know, the funny thing about fruitcake is you either love it or you hate it. I haven't met people who are kind of like, I don't know.
I have a unique relationship with fruitcake. I don't particularly love it. I love the texture of it, but the flavor is so interesting that I want to eat it. And I'm not sure if I like it or not, but it keeps calling me back, if that makes sense.
I don't know. My concern right now is you said you had a relationship with a fruitcake. That's all I have.
Everyone has a complicated past, right?
That's right. That's awesome. 610-363-1110. We got one line open right now, folks, so you're going to want to fill that line. Get it in there. Mark, let's go to Gene. Gene is calling from Texas.
Hi, Gene. Good morning, and welcome to Financial Issues. What's on your mind today?
Oh, hi, Mark. Welcome to Financial Issues. And
thank you.
I had a question about an idea I have on Roth conversions, but first I wanted to give a plug for partnering with the ministry. I retired 9 years ago, and I was blessed with a lot of money from my company with my retirement, but I've been a long-time partner with FISM, and I've been living off of my investments for the last 9 years, totally following Financial Issues, biblically responsible investing. It's been a blessing. I've even got more than when I started. So it's just I really think folks should really partner with the ministry, not just for financial, but the message that you give, biblically responsible investing. It really does pay back, not just financially, but in even greater ways. And so I encourage people to partner with the ministry.
Well, Gene, thank you for that. That means a lot to us, and thank you for passing around, letting people know the truth that we can honor God with our investments. And when we honor God in any way, when we walk His path hand in hand with the Lord, wonderful and righteous things happen in our life. It might not always be financially, but it'll be like peace and joy and Him bringing people in their life He allows us to minister with. I mean, there's so many good things that happen when we walk in the ways of the Lord. Thank you for that, Gene. So what's your question? Or what's your thought or your strategy?
I have an idea on Roth conversions. I actually sent it to my federal representative, Morgan Luttrell, and I was so grateful that his office called me to kind of get clarification on it. And I hope staffers and congressmen are listening, because that really means a lot to voters. But my idea is this. A lot of people are in a position like me, and a lot aren't. I was blessed with a lot of money at my retirement, but most of it is in a traditional IRA. So I've been converting to a Roth every year, and I keep myself about in the 20% tax bracket. But my idea is, can the federal government look at changing, giving folks the opportunity to do a one-time Roth conversion as much as they want out of their traditional IRAs. Like I said, I keep myself in the 22% tax bracket, but for numbers purposes, what if I did that and they charged me lump sum 10% tax, but for that low tax, I would be willing to give up, say, for talking purposes, 10% of my Social Security payment when I decide to take Social Security. So for me, that would be a win for me. The government gets a lump sum well ahead of time when they would normally get it, and they can budget in perpetuity lower Social Security payments to those folks who might not really need it. I'm just wondering what your thoughts on something like that would be. Not the exact numbers, but just the idea.
I like your thinking. I really do. Where I went with it is, what if we could do a lump sum Roth conversion at any age after, let's say, 65? It wouldn't affect Social Security. That's where I would draw the line, because there'd be a lot of people saying, no way, I'm not going to, that's all I got, or whatever, besides this lump sum. But what if it would just at like a 10 or 15% tax rate, instead of just lumping it on top of your income and your Social Security and everything else you're taking, just a one time? That would help us to pay down the debt by getting, hopefully, millions of people to convert their IRAs or their 401ks to Roth all at once. It would dump in a whole lot of money, but it wouldn't affect your taxes that much. I think you're onto something. I really do. I'm glad you sent that to your representative. You ought to compose that out and maybe even put out an article on that. I think that would be a great idea. Good thinking.
Yeah, Gene, I'm curious. Did you happen to hear anything back?
Well, yes, my representative's office called me, and it was funny, because when they called me, I said, well, wait a second, this is a political call. I'm not interested in donating right now. And they said, no, we're actually interested in your idea.
How about that? Cool.
That's excellent.
Nice,
I think that I would like to know more about this. Why don't you email me with the details, and maybe we can talk about it a little more in the air, and maybe we can let's start a movement. Let's get the Roth conversion movement going. Thank you so much for that, Gene. You're thinking straight and smart, and I think that would just good stewardship. So God bless you, and thank you for the call this morning.
And Gene, also common sense too. Mark, you'll be proud of me. When Gene said Social Security, I didn't say anything. My ears perked up. I was ready to jump in.
Wait a minute, aren't you saying something now?
That's all I'm saying about it. I'm not saying anything more. It's Sam's birthday. Right. I don't want to dampen the day. That's awesome. 610-363-1110, folks. Join the conversation. John, we got, or Mark, we have John calling from Indiana. I believe this is Uncle John from the chat. I could be mistaken. John, good morning, brother.
Good morning, John.
How did you know there?
I just know these things, brother.
Hey, John, what's on your mind this morning?
Great to talk to you guys. Mark, first time I've actually talked with you on the phone.
It is.
Hopefully not the last. As I forgive the loud noise there, I'm rebuilding my house as we speak. No, just kidding. Anyway, Mark, what a blessing you've been thus far to all of us, the ministry and all of that. And yes, you are very similar to Dan. We appreciate the anointing that's on your life, brother.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate the wisdom I've seen in the chat room. The things you say, they really are nailed and anchored in Christ, and I really appreciate that.
My brother, I expected no other response than that from you, man, and I appreciate that very much. I've noticed that in yourself, Mark, just a profound and a blessed maturity you have in the Lord, brother, and that's exactly what this ministry needed, and carrying on from Shanna and certainly my big brother Dan, which is one of the reasons I call him my big brother and Shanna's Uncle John, is Shanna said that, well, if you're Dan's little brother, then you must be my uncle, so that's where all that came from.
Hey, John, you'll find this pretty awesome, man. I was texting Shanna earlier today, and she sent me a picture from 2015 of her and Dan at a retreat back in the day. So it's pretty cool to get to see that.
How ironic, Seth,
awesome.
Because that's about the time that I had come across Dan, and he asked me to.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely. He asked me to do that commercial, for FISM with my son in our business. So, man, you guys, and Sam, happy birthday, brother.
John, thank you so much. I see you in the chat all the time. I always appreciate your encouragement.
Hey, Sam, I think you're talking, but I could not hear you.
Oh, that's okay. I want John to be able to hear me. It's not important for you. But I appreciate your words of wisdom and everything. And it's exciting to hear you for the first time. I think this is the first time I've heard your voice.
Very first time, my brother. And Seth is so right with that Lord of the Rings, jargon there, because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan myself, amongst many other fictitious genres. Sam, you definitely beat Sam Wise in the show in the movie Lord of the Rings for sure, brother.
Thanks,
well,
John.
thank you so much, John, for joining us. Don't be a stranger. Call in, especially with those words of wisdom I've seen in the chat room so often.
That's awesome.
God bless you, sir.
Appreciate that, UJ. Thanks, brother. 610-363-1110. You know, Mark, I'd love to get to Dennis here, but I think we'll save him for the other side of the break here.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get to a quick question here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. This was a great word of encouragement that we had gotten a couple shows back, and I meant to share this with you, Mark. Hadn't gotten the chance to, but Jim, who is 63, he's a partner. He said, "Hey, Mark, there was a recent caller said he was paying 1% of his portfolio for someone to manage it, and everyone should be a monthly soldier since the partnership is only $132 a year. I couldn't agree more." He says, loosening our grip on money and giving generously to God's work is such a blessing. We're taking 1% of our portfolio value and tripling our monthly soldier support from what we were doing. Jim, that's awesome. That's so cool. And then he says, then we're taking another 1% of our portfolio and purchasing 8 gifted partnerships. We've already bought 2 for the family. We have to get the word out that biblically responsible investing is the way to invest. God bless all of you. We're excited with you as God's doing his work through you. What a great word of encouragement, Mark. That's awesome.
Absolutely. You know, all these kind words today, Gene, John, just so many people calling in and saying great things in the chat room and in the emails. That God would bless us with these encouragements just tells me that, you know, he really wants us to continue on the path. He really wants us to continue giving the glory to him and to helping his children to be the best stewards they can be. I am so grateful for those kind words, but give all the glory to God because it's not us, it's God in us. Anything good that comes out of this is from the Lord, and hopefully it is blessing you. Thank you so much for those kind words.
Yeah, amen, brother. 610-363-1110, folks. Get your call queued up right now. We want to get to you in this segment. We don't want to have to wait till Monday. We want to hear from you. 610-363-1110. Also, today's Ag Report is on the website, so if you want to listen to the Ag Report, it's there. It's also on the app as well. And it's for anyone, not just for partners. You can go listen to today's Ag Report. 610-363-1110. We'll be back.
In a world where financial decisions can feel overwhelming, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: our family, our faith, and our future. With financial issues by our side, we can invest knowing that our financial decisions are in line with our values. Take the first step today and become a financial issues partner to access rich online resources, training tools, and guidance for biblically responsible investing. Head over to financialissues.org and learn how to invest your money in a way that honors God. That's financialissues.org.
In the last 10 to 15 years being in ministry, being married, something that has been constant in our lives is Samaritan Ministries. As we've moved, we've had babies, we've had different things come up, we have just been able to rely on Samaritan in ways that we never really even thought about before becoming members.
Our heart's desire is to plant roots and be in a place for a really long time. It's how we were raised. We see the benefits of that, but we also see the open-handedness of being used by the Lord wherever he calls, because we just assumed when we started pursuing church planting, the quickest way to get from point A to point B is a straight line. And with the Lord, sometimes you find out it looks a lot more like this. And yet, Samaritan was with us through the entire thing.
We didn't have to look into, we have to change insurances now because we've moved states or whatever the case may be. And it's just been a real blessing to us in different phases of life.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Colleen.
And we're the Gen X.
And we're Samaritan members.
If a woman sees her baby on ultrasound, it doubles the likelihood that she'll choose life. On top of that, we share the gospel of Jesus Christ with her. This is why you should support preborn.
Then they sat me down. If you were to die today, do you think you would go to heaven? And I was like, no. Keeping the child was my first stepping stone. And ever since then, God has cleaned me up from the inside out.
Help support women in need. Go to preborn.com/FISM.
The opinions and recommendations expressed on this program do not necessarily represent the opinions of the station or any of the program sponsors. Additionally, all products or services offered by the program sponsors may not be known by the program.
610-363-1110. It's been an enjoyable show today, folks. We love getting to hear from you. Fill up that call queue there, 610-363-1110. Speaking of which, Mark, we've got Dennis in the call queue. Dennis is calling from North Carolina.
Hello, Dennis from North Carolina. What part of North Carolina?
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville. All right. My mom was from Greensboro, so And we had relatives all over North Carolina. So what's on your mind this morning, Dennis?
Well, first of all, I want to wish Sam a happy birthday because I have twin grandsons who has a birthday today. So
it's a good day to share, right, Dennis? That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
So you get to tell them that their birthday is on Sam Day.
That's right. I can always remember Sam's birthday now. Well, the reason I'm calling is yesterday someone was called in was wondering if you could buy iStocks mutual funds from Schwab, and I'm with Schwab and
iShares.
Yeah, iShares. Yeah, and you can. Now I did go on yesterday. I was going to buy some for the defense and Israel funds. And I could get some for Israel, but when I tried to go to the defense one, it says they have it, but you can't buy any at this particular time. But you can buy stocks there off of Schwab.
The Timothy Plan funds, you absolutely could. I checked in and I went into it as well, so I appreciate that. And the iShares, to know that you can participate in iShares. Let me ask you a question just for definition. Is this are these accounts your accounts, self-managed accounts, or are you going through an advisory service? Are you paying an advisory fee?
It's self-managed. It did have on it when I signed up. It was a fee, but I'm not. I was going to ask you about that. I'm glad you mentioned that
because I know that almost any clearing firm that carries the Timothy Plan funds will allow you to do iShares if you're in an advisory service and you're paying a fee, an annual fee of, or whatever. But not all of them allow you to do it if it's just a self-managed account and you're not paying that fee. Though I believe, and I thought I checked into it, that Schwab did allow you to buy iShares even if it's self-managed. Yeah. So that's good to know. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Because they're so much cheaper. I don't know if maybe somebody's listening today that wasn't listening yesterday. What iShares are, they're just a type of a share of a mutual fund. There's different types of share. You heard of A shares, B shares, C shares, and there's iShares. Well, A shares are front end loaded with a fee, a commission, or a fee. B shares have back end. C shares charge more all along the way with no front end or back end. But iShares, originally, they were just institutional shares. Now they're being opened up more on the major platforms for everybody. Don't have a back end or a front end, and many of them don't even have the 12B1 fees. That little fee that is carried along in the inside. So they're cheaper up front, they're cheaper in the back end, and they're cheaper all along. So whenever possible, you want to be in iShares if you're buying a mutual fund. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that you're letting us know that you found that out. And thank you for sharing that with all our audience. That really helps. And I'm going to be getting back to North Carolina sometime soon. Maybe I'll look you up. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your other question.
I have one other quick question. I know, you have an option when you get them to, you get dividends and capital gains. Is that something that you should continue to just do that or not do that?
To have the dividends and automatically reinvested?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's convenient. What's really happening there is the dividend is declared. It's actually moved out of the mutual fund and then put back in automatically by the brokerage firm. So effectively, you're still going to see any of the same tax as if they put it in your account and then you put it back in manually. So there's no difference tax-wise, but it's just convenient. If you're a long-term investor, absolutely. On the other hand, if let's say you're in a fund that, like the Israeli fund, that really has grown a lot, and you're trying to trim it back a little bit here and there, you might change that to where it just goes into the cash, and then you can take that cash over a few a few quarters and invest it in something else as well. But, I like the idea myself of auto investing back into the mutual funds. It just makes it easier.
Me too. Well, look, I appreciate you taking my call, and I appreciate what you do. You guys have really helped me, all of you, and I appreciate it. And if you come to North Carolina in the near future, let me know. I'd like to meet you.
We'll try and look you up. God bless you, and thank you for the kind words.
Thank you, brother. Hey, Mark, it's a good time now to mention to our audience as well, a week from today, we're planning on it. I think we got to confirm. We're going to have John Gwali. He's one of the managers of the Israel Fund. He's going to come on the show. So if folks have questions about the Israel Fund, that's going to be a week from today. So that'll be
and primarily, we're bringing him on to talk about Israel and the technology and the companies over there. Not so much, and even the politics of it, because he's pretty much an expert on Israel all across the board. But we also can talk about the fund itself, since he is the manager there.
That's good. Absolutely. So, it'll be good stuff. Good stuff, folks. Boy, I'll say the phone number one more time. You're going to have to get in the call queue right now if we want to get you. 610-363-1110. Mark, let's get to, actually, you know what it looks like? Guys, is this Dennis calling back from North Carolina? Nope, it's something different. Okay, all good. So 610-363-1110. Mark, let's get to this question while we are with the time that we have left here. David is 43 years old, and David is saying, hey, Mark, I'm planning to sell A6. We had issued a sell alert for that, Mark, a couple weeks ago for tax loss harvesting in my taxable account, according to your recommendation. But based on the second half of the alert, I was wondering if you'd recommend selling it in a Roth IRA for now as well. I actually have a small gain on it in the Roth IRA, but if it's expected to be the same or lower for a while, maybe it'd be good to sell it there too. What do you think, Mark?
I think you're being very insightful, David, and it's a good question. One of the things that we look at when we talk about tax loss harvesting is obviously we want stocks that have lost money during the year so you can offset your capital gains with that over the long term. So that's one of the reasons. But we don't want to take a stock that's on a run that is climbing very hard and fast, even if it had pulled back, and even if you still have a loss, if it's climbing strong. Well, A6 doesn't fit that. In the last, let's see, I got some numbers here. Year-to-date return, negative 32.8. This is a week or two old here. 1 year return, negative 35%. 3 year return, down 44%. Okay, so that's a good tax loss harvesting stock as long as it's not making a major move forward and looks like it's going to continue. But fundamentally, A6 has reported negative revenues and earning growth over the last 3 years. Said all that to get to the bottom line, say this: I'm very comfortable with you selling it in your Roth or just not keeping it at all anywhere anyhow. So yeah, I would go ahead and do that. And be comfortable with it. Lock in that gain and maybe move the money to something that is definitely on a positive trend, that is growing, and it is in a company that is reporting positive earnings and positive revenues. So great question there, David. And I think that I just love it when we have people asking us questions that show that they're getting into their portfolio, they're looking at it, and they're really trying to be the best steward possible because they know this is God's money that was entrusted to them to use for God's purposes and to his glory, including the purpose of taking care of Dennis and David and his family and all those people out there who are managing it. That's one of the purposes God entrusted to you, along with being a conduit of those blessings to others and celebrating God by supporting your church and doing those kind of things. So it just really warms my heart to see that kind of stuff. Stewardship is one of the most misunderstood concepts in the church. A lot of people just think it's giving, which that's a big slice of the pie, but it's so much more than that. As we see, stewardship involves everything, all of God's resources, included you and me, and we're his resources twice. Once he created us, and then he saved us. So we're his, and we're supposed to use everything, our strength, our mental capacities, our spiritual capacities, as well as all the material things he brings into our life to glorify him. And our partners, our listeners are those type of people, Seth. They're the people who are embracing the fullness of stewardship, biblical stewardship. And because of that, we are seeing wonderful and righteous things starting to ripple through our society. And you're the heroes that are doing that. You're godly heroes. And I thank you for that. And you know what? I also thank you for loving God enough to want to honor him by investing with biblical integrity. It's been a great show today. I thank you so much for your calls and thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to getting back together Monday where we start it all again and we join together to the glory of God. God bless everyone. Have a great weekend.
If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under.
Thank you for joining us. This has been an FISM production.